creativity comes from being more spontaneous and incorporating randomness. Randomness is another mental model. It's funny because you're trying to structure this on the business and creative thinking window for yourself, but then at the same time you have to trick your brain to think this is spontaneous and also random.
And it's a new environment.
A lot of times I've thought, oh, am I lazy? Why am I so lazy? But now I'm like, I embrace that laziness. And I always felt like, oh, maybe people will see me as lazy. So I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this thing and I don't want to do it 10,000 times. Let's go build a system instead. Context switching really affects me. It affects me where I just want to go actually just take a nap. Once I've switched context 10 times, especially really quick, my mind is gone, energy gone, mental cognition gone. I just want to go take a nap. And if you're in that state, like how can you be creative?
Everyone tells you to work on the business, not in it, but when you're in production every single day. Is creative space as a business owner actually achievable? Or is it just something that people reach once they're past the build phase? But before you answer it, you run 100% creative business, 15 years in, running Bizvideo with your brother Andre. Did you always protect time to think, or is that a new phase from where you're at?
It's a good question. Yeah, it's been the last few years, I'd say. More, I guess deliberate in a way. Whereas, before that it was just, spontaneous.
Like what changed? What made you go from where you were, where you didn't have any structured time, to I can't keep doing it this way? Like what was that little point in business? Like you're 15 years in, that's one commendable to be running a creative business for that long and adapting with the changes. But what was the point in business where you're like, something needs to change, I need to have more creative space?
Yeah.
As a founder, like what phase of business was that?
Yeah. It's an interesting one because, like you said, we're in a creative business, right? Like we help our clients with their marketing and their stories, and everything's very creative. And that's how I got into it as well, like 15 plus years ago. But I think, probably a lot of business owners resonate with this. You go home and you're just thinking to yourself, like, what did I even do today? I just did so much. Your brain is completely fried and you just feel like, why am I even doing this? It's like this hamster wheel every single day. So this kept happening. And then every now and then I had to like force myself to like take a little break or something, because otherwise I would just completely burn out. And I did burn out a couple of times, as you would in 15 years. And then every time I take that little break to allow that creativity or just that space to get away from that treadmill of, jumping from one thing to the other, solving this problem and then this problem and then doing this little thing. I started seeing like a difference straight away. Even if it's like a little coffee, just go out for a coffee with my brother, my co-founder. And then, it was just completely different. Yeah. The day was different.
You once told me recently, actually, when I saw you and Andre at the coffee shop, it was like you told me the owner is the architect of the business. Like, what do you mean by that, and what does that demand creative space look like? Like
you're exactly right. Like as business owners, we are the architect of like where we want this business to go. What's the vision? What's the goal? What's the plan of action to go into that direction? As business owners, we have all the risk. You've got employees and so on, and you're always trying to look after them, their best interests, make sure they are fed. But at the end of the day, you are the one responsible for everything. That includes like all the different insurances, you don't think about if you're not in business or anything. And so by you being responsible there, you're actually like responsible, again, like where this business is heading and architecting that roadmap.
I think a couple of times we've spoken about when we caught up with other close business owners that we both have a relationship with. We've spoken about the Blockbuster or Netflix scenario around really asking each other the question of like, where is your industry heading with AI, and how much of your time is architecting not only that transition in what we're seeing in business, but also making sure that your business is positioned in a way or pivoting in a way that still keeps your core values and your alignment of where you want it to go, but adjusting to the external factors of your business along the way. I found that's like super powerful, in the fact that you mentioned the architect is the business owner. What are you architecting right now?
Yeah, it's
from a high level perspective.
yeah. I think as businesses, like especially our business, and I guess every business, we're always at threat of like the next thing, like the horse and carriage back in the day, right? Their threat was like cars, and back then, like people would go like, "Why would you need a car? We've got a horse and carriage. That's our mode of transport." And then along came the car, and so on. Like that's just one little example, and yeah, it's I don't know, maybe it's just like ongoing anxiety as a business owner. You're like, what's going to happen? Like, is my business a threat? And it is. It's always a threat, especially now in AI. There's this mental model. I love mental models. Like, there's this like book series called Mental Models by FS. So I think it's fs.blog is the URL, and they've published like 4 different mental model books, and then each book's got mental models. And I see it as like the laws of the universe in a way. It's like laws you cannot defy. So there's this one mental model in there called creative destruction. And it's kind of like the Blockbuster and Netflix thing, right? Blockbuster didn't want to evolve. Netflix came along and just completely destroyed that business, or that business model that Netflix brought in. So creative destruction is really like, in this capitalistic world, everything's always evolving, and it's got to evolve in business. Otherwise, everything becomes stale. And you see it now with AI and everything. Everything's evolving so fast. So as business owners, we have to become super aware of that, and we have to take it seriously. And if we don't take it seriously, creative destruction will kind of like destroy our business if we don't evolve.
With everything moving so quickly and so much noise as a business owner, and deciding on what to focus on which direction to push the business in changes, whichever they are, you called yourself a victim of context switching.
Mm.
What does that look like in a normal day, and how do you run a day to avoid that? But can you first define context switching as a business owner?
Whether it's, let's say you go and sit down on your computer and you want to do a task, and then you overhear a employee in the office, and all of a sudden your attention goes there. So you're switching context, and then you've got to switch context back to the task you were doing. And then while you're doing that task, you see a little notification pop up, like this client or this something. Now you got to switch context there. And I don't know if it's just me, like I'd love to hear what you think about this as well and how it affects you, but context switching really affects me. It affects me where I just want to go actually just take a nap. Like once I've switched context like 10 times, especially really quick, my mind is like, it's gone, energy gone, mental cognition gone. I just want to go take a nap. And if you're in that state, like how can you be creative? Like how can you make big decisions?
That's so true, man.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about, I think the office is maybe one of the worst places for an owner to think.
Yeah.
I know I run both companies out of the one space.
Yeah.
And context switching is chaos, which is why I get in at 3 a.m. because that's my quiet time.
Yeah.
Like 3-4 hours to like do some work with no one else in there, because other than that, it's all open space. So
yeah,
have my office manager, have my EA, like it's all in the one office. And I think sometimes as business owners, we think that can be sometimes productive when you're onboarding a team or you're building a team around a product or a service, because everyone learns so much faster. But I think it gets to this pendulum point of like, well, everyone knows what they're doing, and now it's just noise.
Yeah.
Of like, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? Or what about this? Or my business partner might walk in and going, hey, can I have 5 minutes for this? And then my day now that I view is context switching is really draining.
Yeah.
And I try to do all my deep work in the morning and do that in the afternoon. And email is the worst context switch, because you're looking at everyone else's to-do list on so many different topics in so many different areas of the business in one spot.
Yeah, you're literally looking at all these lines
in
an inbox, and every single line is a different piece of context. So you're switching context there.
Why do habits kill creativity? And what's the Gold Coast version of flying to New York like?
Yeah.
Or I'm going to change my whole entire environment geographically. Like, what's the alternative to that as a business owner on the Gold Coast? Yeah,
I mean, I'm very fortunate that my dad's a pilot. So ever since we were kids, like we'd fly everywhere. I was 2 weeks old, and they had their own like plane, like company back in South Africa. So we had all these planes, and he'd charter people and all these things. So it allowed us to like go on like trips and stuff like randomly. He'd like pick us up like halfway through a Friday from school, and then we'd fly from Pretoria, where we lived, to like Durban.
So cool.
Near the beach. And yeah, my first plane like flight was like 2 weeks old. And then yeah, my whole childhood journey, it was always like flying to places like America and all that stuff. But now, like as an adult, you know, whenever I fly, and as a business owner, whenever I fly, something happens. Like there's this creative unlock, and I get so inspired. Even though, like, if you're sitting in a plane, it's actually not the best place
No.
to sit. But maybe it's because of all the noise and everyone's there and all that stuff. And then I can just get super focused and I'm doing some personal development or something and I get so inspired. Or maybe it's the fact that we're like how many thousand feet up in the air and you can really think big picture. So, but yeah, doing that, like, yeah, you're not just going to fly around like every time you need to get some inspiration for your business and architect like a new system or work on the business. So yeah, I try and find ways like on the Gold Coast to introduce that space for me to think creatively and really like on the business.
You've mentioned to me some tactics that you use, just like instead of going to the office, I go to the beach, a random cafe, no agenda, no laptop, no phone. Like, why is the phone the killer?
Yeah. It's funny because you always joke, like when you see me, we always like laugh at each other.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like an ongoing joke.
It's an ongoing joke, which is good, but it's like,
yeah,
you know, birds of a feather flock together. Like we're all like trying to optimize our day. But I'm curious to see how you bring randomness into your day through doing those things.
Yeah.
Like why no agenda?
Yeah.
Because from like a building development background, like everything has an agenda.
Oh yeah.
Like there's always a meeting. You got to plan. Like your whole entire business model is derived and defined by what did you achieve on site, like building wise, like what did you create?
Yeah.
And as a business owner, you don't necessarily see all that creativity because you're buried in notes, thoughts, emails, helping team, and it's really hard to define that. So when you said no agenda, no laptop, no phone, I'm like, well, how do you track like your metrics on the ROI of spending this creative, like structured time?
It's interesting that, you say like ROI. I mean, I'll just quickly, it's almost impossible to put an ROI on it, but if I had to, it would be like $1 in 1,000 or even 100,000 or even 1,000,000 out. Honestly, that's how valuable it's been for me. But yeah, like you being a builder, it's a great example what you just used there. Every single day you've got a plan. You've got to go build someone's house, right? Someone's granny flat. And there's that's the outcome that needs to be achieved. And here's the plan to do it and here's the team. And it's, how long's a granny flat normally? Like I don't want
4 or 5 months.
4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And you just got to go do that. And it's a lot of doing. But what are you doing? You're there building someone else's house, right? So for me, that is, we've got the same plan. So it's us helping our clients with their marketing and there's just a clear plan, but it's us helping them. Like when are we looking at our business? When do I have the time to do that? At the end of the day, we're in business to help our clients, right? And same with you. You're in business as Kai Construct to build someone else's granny flat. Like that's why you're in business. You're not in business to have your own business, just being in business. But if you don't take that time to kind of like going back to that mental model, creative destruction, and also just to evolve and to better your product and your service and all that stuff, you're just going to like plateau. And as humans, like we need to grow. So, going back to your question, I was always stuck doing this. So just doing our clients' work and just doing that. And that was great for them at that time, but we needed to evolve as a business, like our product offering and everything, to make whatever we're doing for our clients even better. But I didn't have that time to do it. We were just stuck inside of it. It's like you just building, never taking the time to go like, hey, where are we actually taking this business? Yeah.
Or alternatively, why are we building in this way?
Yeah.
Asking the question, why are we creating in this way?
Yeah, exactly.
Why I respect you and Andre so much as business owners is, one, you've been 15 years in business and running a business together, but two, in a creative space, which is, I view as a really hard, not really hard, but a very dynamic business to then constantly evolve our creative business creatively as the business owner. And I've learned so much from the mental models or your viewpoint on things. And one of those things is you try and leave your phone as much as possible with all of that time, because you said the phone is the killer, you're in someone else's funnel.
Yeah.
And I never fully got that. Can you elaborate into that point? Like, why are you in someone else's funnel as soon as you have your phone? Or is the unintentional thing of you open your phone and there's like 50 apps there and you're like, I was supposed to do this, but Instagram's open now and that story's interesting. And
Yeah. I don't know the science behind it too well, but yeah, whenever I do go sit down and work like on the business, I try to do it with a notepad and a pen. Just to, maybe it's just for me, like maybe it just works really well for me. Maybe like for other people it works better, with a computer and writing notes. But for me, I found that works really, really well to just work on the business. Because if you open that book, like that piece of paper, and you open to a blank page, there's nothing else to like distract you. It can't give you notifications.
It's very kinetic in a way as well.
Yeah.
Like as you're writing, you're physically thinking what to write as you write, and then visually looking at what your thoughts are.
Yeah. And you're in that context. You're not switching context. Like that's it there. Unless someone brings over your coffee, then now you're context switching and then you're switching back. But at least I can take that. Like it's not the biggest context switch ever. But like if you think about this, like this would have probably happened to you yesterday. I think this happens every day. I'll go, I need to check something on Instagram. Like I saved something. Like I'll be there with my wife. I'm like, I've got to show you this thing I saved yesterday on Instagram. It's about how to parent or whatever. I open Instagram and then it takes me 5 minutes to show my wife what I wanted to show her in the first place. Because what happens? I open my phone and Instagram brings up, they know you so well. They know how to hook you so well, even if you're focused. And the first thing that comes up, it's like, ooh, what's that? It's like, oh, look at this new bike.
Is that a new 4K HDR camera that I can use for the business?
Yeah, like, and then you just go down. It's like, okay, now let's scroll a little bit, and that kind of happens. So yeah, going back to your point, that way you're like in someone else's agenda and funnel. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. It's like if you have your phone or your laptop and you don't have something blank or just plain thinking space, it's like you're at that time that you've spent so much time trying to not sacrifice, but schedule and block out, just gets instantly robbed quickly. Like there's been heaps of times at night where like I'm going to punch out, my to-do list for tomorrow and I open my phone and my first thing is like, all right, check Meta and everything that goes through there. And then 2 hours later, I'm like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Because you just get interested and it's quiet time. The kids are asleep. Business isn't running.
Yeah.
And then you sort of just want to get an out sort of thing and you get steered away.
It's on point because, yeah, sometimes you have to go check those things. Yeah, you have to do it. But I'm trying to like just limit my context switching and go, okay, that's a batch there. I'm going to do that item or that thing on that day at that point in time every single week or every single day or whatever. Get in, get out. But I'm going to, like the space that I'm saving for myself to like think on the business and get creative, try to, like I've failed many, many times, but try to do my best where it's like, cool, this is my time like on the business because we need to do this as business owners. Like we have to optimize the business, build systems. Yeah, otherwise we'll get left behind. Yeah, especially now.
I think as a business owner, it's easy from my experience to just do the doing because that's what we're used to and that's what we feel comfortable doing. Like I can happily go on site on an excavator or building with a team and not have to worry and not want to worry, not have to, but not want to worry about anything else some days and just enjoy building. Background as an apprentice on the tools, learned that way. And avoid and procrastinate of actually doing the hard work, which is often thinking.
Mm.
Do you have your notepad on you?
Yeah.
Can you show me the notepad? It's always on you.
Yeah.
So this guy rolls around with a notepad all the time. Not very big, but can you explain like how does planning 2 weeks at a time clear your head so the creative time is actually free? Because you mentioned time blocking and time structuring and allocating time in the most effective and optimized way, which is like all of your life. Knowing you as a good friend, like you're always optimizing things. So how does planning 2 weeks ahead clear your head so that you have creative time that's actually there? Like you have the time to allocate creatively. Because lots of people are probably listening to this going, mate, I'm 90 hours a week at the moment. You want me to actually jam some creative time?
Yeah.
Like how did you create that time?
Yeah.
From your notepad and planning?
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, it's literally just having the notepad because you can see quite objectively what's on there.
And for people who are listening to this, Corné has a book, maybe fits in the palm of his hand. It's got field notes. I see a number 7 there. That's probably the 7th notebook that you've gone through this year on the front. And it's opened up into like clear dotted lines and a spread. So on one page you have your week, the 2 weeks laid out, and the other page you have, goals and key rock points. It's like your summarized high level week.
Basically, it's small. Like each day is a small little block, and what that does is you can't jam it.
I was just about to say, it's not like you have a full A4 sheet of paper that you're doing this on the A4. Like it is.
No, it's
you
tiny.
can maybe fit 3, maybe 4 points legibly. Tops in each of the day on one page.
Every day you've got like 4 to 5 lines. So you've got the 2 weeks. So it's Monday to Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then you've got that twice on that one page. And on the other page, you've got goals. That's like my big goals, like medium goals right now, where we're heading towards. That could be revenue, profit, things like that.
So it's sort of what, like left page is planning, so you can visually see your week. Right page is creative goals, ideas around it.
And every 2 weeks I go and draw this out again and start again. I normally do that, Sunday evening. And I've got my goals, and then I've got my big rocks, like outcomes that I need to achieve during those 2 weeks. And then I've got like small loops. I call them loops that I need to close. It could be like client related, or it could be like business related. Like just here, it's like sign tax, do this insurance. So it's just like little things. And it's there. It's on paper. So it's not on the back of my head when I go to bed. You know what I mean? So it's there. And then I've got like wins as well. And next week or next 2 weeks, like, because sometimes you get an idea or something. And you're like, I'm not going to fit it into these 2 weeks. I'm just going to catalog that for later,
What have you found the most powerful thing by having that notebook? If you could pick one thing that unlocks, what would be by using a notebook kinetically?
I think the emotion and the feeling is like a sense of relaxed. Like, cool, it's in here. You know what I mean?
I've addressed it. I've got it out of my head. I put it somewhere. I know it's somewhere now. I cannot think about it.
So that's number one. And then also, like, I can see my goal. So every day I look at the goal and the big rocks. And then on the left-hand side of the spread, I've got my weeks. And every time I do an item, like, I scratch it out completely. So it's like gone. But then on the left-hand side, I don't put the small tasks down. It's like the big things that are going to move the business forward, And I can map those things out. So on like, I'm trying to get an example for you, but let's say, for example, build XYZ system. That's like let's say, for example, build XYZ system. That's like an item that I've got to do that Tuesday, or, something, or hire this put an ad out to hire this new person. It's all like, it's
business owner things.
It's business owner,
It's interesting because it forces you to go, what's the top things in my role that can add to the business? It's not, I don't see team meeting. Check on this.
It's not on. Team meeting's not on here.
It's not on. It's like
it's on my calendar.
It's not a to-do list. It's in your calendar, but your notebook. What I'm like hearing and actually seeing is it's not a to-do list. It's a North Star agenda of planning and creative things to work towards in the business that you're constantly reviewing. Because everyone has their calendar jammed and everyone's got emails and all this, but this is like a sacred space, thinking space for you, the business owner.
100%, mate. Like, I'll have items there on like a day where my day is just complete. Like tomorrow I've got like a full day with my accountant, 6 hours. If I go look at like what I've got planned for tomorrow on here, and then also knowing, we've got 6 hours with our accountant, like there's no way I'm getting those things done, but it's still in here.
You can always carry it over,
Yeah,
right?
I carry it over, but it's the big ticket items. It's the high leverage, it's the fishy effect things.
And I love that. I want to touch on that too. It's like, when you guys rebranded, the fishy thing of like small input for a massive output. It's like everything that Bizvideo is about. It's what I've experienced as one of your clients for a long time now. And also like how you guys operate is always that fishy thing. Is that because you are wanting to always not be lazy as a business owner, like, just do this so I can get the most out of it, but be like really specific with areas that you focus on to get the biggest output? Is that where that came from?
I think so. I think it's one of my core principles as a person, but then also as a business. This is what we believe in, and like it's in our logo, like what you said. And it's about, if you can do something like do an input, right? If you put something into a system, like wouldn't you want a big output? So that really depends on like what activity are you going to put your like effort into? You know, is it going to be something that you've got to do it every single time to get the same output? So a great example of that is like, let's say everyone's got lawns, right? Would you go mow your lawn every single time? That's the input, like spend an hour every time to mow your lawn. Or you're going to spend an hour to like build a robot that can mow your lawn ongoing. You know what I mean? You're doing that.
I'm buying right.
You are doing that.
Yeah. So like I moved from 40 acres.
Yeah.
Down to 8, which is still a fair bit of property.
Yeah.
But I said to you guys, like, I refuse to mow on my Saturdays moving here in the hinterland of the Gold Coast when I've got the beach like 20 minutes away.
So the question is
it's
like
buy a robot mower.
Exactly.
One investment, multiple outputs, and it's still cheaper than a groundskeeper.
Yeah. And like some might go, oh, Tim, you're lazy. No, it's like I'm going to put my time and effort into the things that matter way more than cutting grass, into my family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's that kind of thing. So it's like a core principle for myself. And a lot of times I've thought, oh, am I lazy? Why am I so lazy? But now I'm like, I embrace that laziness in a way. It's probably not the right word, but that's how I always felt. Yeah. And I always felt like, oh, maybe people will see me as lazy. So I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this thing and I don't want to do it 10,000 times. Like, let's go build a system instead.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or let's just get a better way of doing it.
A better way of doing it.
Yeah, and it's going back to like first principles thinking. It's another great mental model. Like Elon Musk is all about this. I think every business owner should, look into first principles thinking. All the greatest billionaires in the world, like this is one of their top mental models they go by. So it is a first principle thinking. But yeah, going back to what we call the fishy effect, I think Andre came up with it because it's basically, your input is like small and then your output is big. So that's what we're always trying to aim for. So what I mean by that is like when clients come to us, we want them to like invest their time and their money with us. And we want to have like a way bigger outcome for them in terms of their input, right? That's what we're always optimizing for and striving for. And the same in the business as well. And you can take this on all levels, right? Like I want to get to a point where like every single minute of every single day, especially in the business, that's the way I'm working. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's not there, but hey, business is ever evolving. But you mentioned before that business is supposed to be enjoyable, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not meant to be a grind all the time. And I think sometimes it can be like something to lean on going, I'm a business owner and I'm struggling. Everyone's like, yeah, good for you. Not good for you, but I'm a business owner. I'm struggling through it. I'm grinding, I'm doing, because you think everyone's doing that, but not everyone's viewing it in that way. Like you need to enjoy the journey. It's interesting. I was going for a run with a friend of mine and she's like a mental model, very much into thinking about how we operate as a business owner. And she's like, it's funny how we don't enjoy the 99% of the journey to get to the 1% of time of a goal. And then we reset the goal and then we go through it again. And then we don't enjoy the journey. Whereas like taking this creative time out is like reflecting on the journey as you are going through it in a way to then go, I reached that goal of systemizing everything where I've got 8 hours more in my week because I took the time to review of how we were operating the business.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on, you mentioned not the lazy business owner, but like a business owner that's looking at it in a way where it's like, I don't want to do the same thing 10,000 times. How can I automate it? Now the Friday, the team knows you don't work. The calendar's completely blocked out. And what is it actually for? And how did you get to that point? Fridays.
Yeah.
And Corné's very nice to share this part of his life because I actually didn't know about it. And we've been good friends for a long time. When he told me, and I'm like, hang on a second, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't tell anyone about it.
Thanks for telling everyone about it until now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But why? So why don't you tell, or why aren't you really that public around you not working Fridays? What do you think it is from a business owner mental context? Yeah,
probably scared about what people think.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, this guy's lazy or he's just not working enough, or you know what I mean?
In my head, I'm like, I need to efficient my week because to get to that.
Yeah.
And
I've had to like work quite hard to get to that stage.
So the calendar's completely blocked out. What's it for?
It's for a number of things. It just really depends on where we're at personally in life and in business. But it could be on the business, which it is most of the time. Because, as a business owner, you're just addicted to business and work. The other thing is like for family. And other thing is just like, for myself, if I'm like, I love riding bicycles and stuff. I love adventures. I love being outside. Obviously, live on the Gold Coast. There's so much opportunity with that. So just have that space for that. But most of the time I find myself working on the Friday, but not in the sense that I would have worked in the past, where I'd go to the office and do the same thing I would have done Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
If it's for family, like you were saying, you and your wife are going for a long lunch tomorrow, which is like, or this Friday, which is like fantastic. So it's a personal bonus, or a ride, which I want to focus on in a second, or the systems working on the business. How do you decide which kind of Friday it is? So this is like your blocked, structured, creative time as the business owner. How do you decide what it is? Because like I'll put an objection to that, where it's like, well, if I take a Friday off out of the normal day-to-day business
operations
owner, but not from work, it's like a different environment day off.
Yeah.
And I want to go for a motorbike ride, or I want to go fly a helicopter, or I want to, have some like downtime.
Yeah.
Then how does your wife, who's looking after your kid all the time, view that time out? And I say this because a lot of us as business owners, we're married with kids, we want to be present with the time, and then suddenly like, are you going for a ride on a Friday? Shouldn't you be at work doing this? Or I'm just interested, because it was the first thing that came to mind would be like, is it family or just business, or me personally?
Been doing it for probably about 9 months now. So it is still quite new.
So it is a recent transition.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. But I'm lucky, blessed in that respect. My wife knows, like, we're running this business for our families. Like, when I say families, like my brother and I, we're in business together. So she knows that. And I think I explained all of this to her, like in terms of like some Fridays I'll do like on the business stuff, and she'll ask me, it's like, oh, what are you doing today? Are you working? And I'm like, I've got to go do these things. And when I say go do these things, it's again, it's on the business kind of. I'll give you some examples of that if you'd like, but she understands what it is. So I'm just blessed in that way. I can't really give you any advice there.
I think I need to give my wife more time for herself so I can have some time. But it's the whole entire thing of like, but you're making it for family, right? You're still having the bonus time, sort of like, you know what, I'm happy where it's at the business.
Yeah.
I'm going to fill my family personal time.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
And that day is also there to use in that. Because as a business owner, we got business ourselves personally, and 9 times out of 10, our family of some sort, whether it's a fur baby or a bunch of kids and a wife. I guess we're always trying to allocate the right time for a balance as best as possible.
Yeah. To get to the Friday thing, I've had to work really hard to do that.
I was going to ask you.
Yeah. And that is a lot about, and that's why this booklet, like all this prioritization of weekly things come into play, because I've had to work hard and put other systems and people in place, and to kind of like win back my time for a Friday, and also just work way more efficient on Monday to Thursday, and way less context switching. And I think I could attribute a lot of that to just that, like not having to context switch the whole time, just getting way more done with the time that I have Mondays to Thursday.
So I want to ask you, like you said, the stuff you do on a Friday, it takes the business to the next level.
Yeah.
Like, give me a real example, and you still get everything done in the 4 days. Like my thing is like, how is that possible? Because like, what's the misconception about the 5-day week?
Yeah. It's like the chicken or the egg thing, right? Because I use the Friday to go build the robot lawnmower.
So true.
To free up the time for the rest. And so it's just getting better and better. Yeah. Like in the beginning, it was like, I don't know if it was like anxiousness. It's like, oh, I'm not doing the normal stuff on Friday. Like, what's going to happen to the business? And then, you've got this nervy, like this, you're edgy the whole time.
Yeah.
But now, like 9 months afterwards, it's completely different.
How do you view that now then? Now that you've got like from anxious, like what's going to blow up when I'm gone? Is my Mondays to Thursdays now just a 12-hour day, not a 10-hour day to fit those hours in? Like, how does it feel now from that?
Oh, it's amazing because like Fridays, it shouldn't be like, oh, the Friday that Corné has now is not a result. It's actually an investment.
I like that.
So you have to invest to block, like you have to The transaction of that investment takes place when you block out that Friday calendar completely. That's the investment right there, because that'll pay off in your business a lot. That's what I found. Yeah, it's like reverse thinking about it. Most people will think, for me to have the Friday off, that would be the result of something. No, that's the investment.
So it's like that's actually the first step.
That's the
like
first
blocking that out.
Yeah.
And then forcing everything around that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting. Because I know a lot of business owners, myself included, run their lives from their calendar because we've got so much going on and people are booking things in and we have our assistants and we have different things that we're trying to cover. And if it's not in there, it does not exist in my world. And it's like having a day off. I think when I was moving, I blocked out the whole entire week and I was freaking out for a month before, going, how am I going to take a week out when we were starting projects, handing over projects?
Yeah.
And then the week went past and
Yeah.
everything continued on and nothing burnt down.
That's the thing. I think so much of it is in our own heads. Like, I've been wanting to do this whole Friday thing for a while, and it's only, it's taken like 14.4 years.
Yeah, 6 months in, you're like, I need a Friday off, but you're still building the business.
Yeah.
So, because this is I think I want to bring like the honest cash to it. Like, you have to earn this to a point. Like, when the cash flow is tight, creativity evaporates. I've experienced this personally. You're thinking payroll, not vision. So what does someone still in the grind actually do? Like, what is the honest first step? Is it taking an afternoon, not a day?
Yeah.
Like, what's your experience been?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it could just be like, kind of like what you do a lot of the time, what you just said before, like just get to the office way early, earlier before all the distractions or anything. Yeah. But yeah, I would go almost like against the going to the office. This is just for me personally. And this is going back to the randomness thing. And I honestly believe creativity comes from like being more spontaneous in a way and incorporating randomness. Randomness is another mental model. You have to incorporate that, because if you try and structure, it's funny because you're trying to structure this on the business and creative thinking window for yourself. But then at the same time, you have to trick your brain to think this is spontaneous and also random.
And it's a new environment.
Yeah, environment. So I like coffee shops. I like to go sit at a coffee shop. Gold Coast coffee shop scene is awesome, obviously. I'm sure it's the same with all the other cities. But yeah, just to go sit there with my piece of notepad and identify, like, it could be working through a specific problem, but then thinking of it in a different way, like a creative way, solve that problem in the business, building systems. And yeah, but one that I found, and I told you about it this morning, is like sometimes I like to just go for a ride. And it's a different type of ride that I would normally do during the week. Normal, like during the week, it's structured exactly like Mondays and Thursdays with work. It's this time with this group, or even if I'm doing solo, it's this route. Whereas like on a Friday, sometimes I would go, I'm going to be away for like 3-4 hours and I'm just going to go ride. And I'll have a route in mind, but then I normally put something in my ears to listen to, personal development, business, and something wild happens during those rides. JP always says, man, if Corné is doing that, something is about to happen in the business.
Something's brewing.
Yes, yeah. Honestly, I don't know what it is. I don't know. There's some, like, obviously science behind it. Like if you're walking or running or something, you're more creative. Like if you have to solve a problem, that is it Joe Lucas?
It is Joe Lucas, yeah.
Yeah, she says, like, if you have to solve a problem, don't sit in front of your computer. Like if you're really struggling with a problem, just go for a quick walk and think about that problem. And that you'll solve it way faster because something happens, you're moving. And so, yeah, you're on the bike, you've got to hold on to the handlebars. You can't be on your phone, like scrolling in someone else's funnel. And then you're listening to something that's like super on point for you and your business right now, like maybe a problem you're going through, or let's say you want to evolve the business in a certain way. Then I'll listen to something, and then my creativity just goes next level. And I just can't do that in the office in front of a computer.
So it's like you found your environment that works for you.
Yeah, could be different for everyone.
That gets to that point of like I can think.
Yeah,
because you're forced to think. Like surfing, like when you're out in the waves, sitting there, looking at the horizon, or you're on a wave actually surfing, you can't think about anything else. You have to be very much in the moment as you're on the wave. And then when you're sitting there waiting for the next set, you're having a chat or you're just thinking. There's so much thinking time out there.
Yeah.
I found as a space to do it.
It's almost like dreaming. You're dreaming.
It is a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think dreaming as a business owner is wasted time?
No, I think, I didn't think about it until literally just now. When you said that, I was like, no, it's actually like, if I'm visualizing myself writing and being in that state of like listening to personal development, trying to solve the next problem or evolve our business, that's not thinking, you're dreaming. You're allowing your subconscious to like dream and solve the problem.
I think that's super powerful too. Like this morning I woke up like body clock and I just decided to stay at home and have a coffee and sit out and just look at the mountains.
Nice.
And I'm like, just an hour of just thinking of, it wasn't structured. It wasn't about business. It was about, if we were going to build the house, we'd build it this way. And what if I did that down there? And that'd be cool if this was here. And one day I could help my brother in his role here. And it's like, it was just all over the shop. But it felt like when I hopped in the car to go to Burleigh, it was like, I've already thought through all that mess that I wanted to that was up here. I feel very clear this morning, but I wanted to ask you a key point to almost close it is the biggest leverage isn't just your own space. It's creating it for your team. Why? To start with. And what does that help them climb the trees to see forward look like? So
create space for the team? Or?
So all of this conversation so far is about how we as business owners can create space for ourselves to actually develop the business. But I'm also curious as to like having capacity in business is also determined by team.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, how can you create space for your individual team once you've had that creative space to like unlock more capacity? A good friend of ours, Greg, is always like, you have team, but what is their capacity?
Yeah.
So you can have 10 people, but if their capacity is low, you might as well just have a team of 3 with high capacity.
Yeah.
And for example, like for my own, I'd love to hear your thoughts in your business and what you've learned. Like I was sitting down with one of my team in the ops of the construction business, and we're just talking about accounts, which is like a normal process that every business goes through every week. It's just part of the operations. And I said, just show me how you do it, because I'm interested to see the procedure that I wrote and then how he's interpreted it as himself as a person. And I just watched him. Like we get like maybe 200 to 300 invoices a week just with the scale of construction that we're doing. And I watched him drag the completed email when we're doing it manually into invoices entered folder, which then Dropboxed into suppliers or subcontractors, which Dropboxed into an alphabetical order of the thing. And I'm like, why are you doing this, dude?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, because there's a folder there to put it in. And I'm like, why don't we just drag it into invoices entered and we use the search function if you ever need it? And he's like, oh, would that really matter? I'm like, so we timed it. It took him 50 seconds.
Yeah.
You do that over 200 times, that's 3 hours down to 45 minutes.
Yeah. And it's going to be quicker searching for it anyway.
And it's going to be way quicker searching for it. And like, he's a really smart kid.
Oh, yeah.
It was just like, this seems like the normal path of how we do things.
Yeah.
And until I sat down and reviewed it with him, I'm like, now that's pulling him out of the forest, looking up going, why don't we just drag it here? It's the same outcome, the fishy thing, and we can always find it later, but we've already entered it. And you just saved yourself 2.5 hours that you can attribute somewhere else.
That's such a great point. Yeah.
That's just one thing.
One example, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like the forest from the trees, right? The Fridays allow me to get out of the forest so I can see the trees, and then it's my strategy there. But yeah, coming back to the question, yeah, I agree 100%. I think every business owner, you can't stop. You'll never be able to stop with this, like in terms of optimizing and helping your team, because there's always.
I'd almost say there's no end game.
Yeah, there's no end game, and there's always an opportunity to like optimize the next part. And yeah, I think it's our responsibility to help our team. They are in the forest themselves. They can't see. They're just like, no, I'm just going to...
Just do the doing.
Yeah, I'm just going to whack down this tree.
With a blunt axe.
Yeah, don't stop. No, I'm busy. I'm just going to keep going. Where he's like, let's stop for a sec. Let's zoom out. Let's look at your tools. Like, it's blunt. Let's sharpen it.
So true.
Or let's create a system to sharpen that axe so you can cut it off better.
So, back to where we started.
Yeah.
Is creative space as a business owner actually achievable? Yes, no.
So in terms of like, let's say like the Friday or like
Is it
afternoon
actually
or
cheaper,
morning.
or is it actually like, give it to me straight? Is it compulsory?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I think not only is it achievable, it's compulsory. Like what you said there. I think as business owners, you have to do it. It's compulsory.
Well, for the stuck business owner in production right now, and I've definitely can relate to it, and you have as well over your journey in business. What is the one thing that they can do this week to start?
Maybe just go on your calendar and just block out a short block for, just call it dreaming with a notepad.
I like that.
At a coffee shop or a beach, wherever, like something completely random to what you're used to. And even if it's just 10 minutes, just go make that investment, or maybe make it a half a day. Andre and I, we always did this thing where it was like every couple of months, we would just take a complete day off and we'll go to we'll meet at the coffee shop. We'll meet at the beach at Burleigh, go for a swim and everything, run and swim and chin-ups and stuff. Then we'll go to like Paddock Bakery, have a breakfast, like 2-3 hours. Then we'll go, oh, you hungry? Then we go over to Rickshaws for lunch at Burleigh, overlooking the ocean, like seeing that expanse, that horizon, like endless horizon. And then after that, we'll go to some other coffee shop or something. Like it'll just be a whole day of that. So it's like complete randomness. We just say, okay, let's catch up at Burleigh to start with in the morning. And those days, we do that like once a quarter normally. I completely forgot about this. And those have been like some of the most monumental, like positive changes in our business. Now I'm lucky because I've got that business partner.
Yeah, the soundboard off it. Yeah,
yeah, and like
but
where we can
if
talk.
a business owner didn't have a business partner,
Yeah.
it'd be like, we'll find another,
I'd say,
business owner
yeah,
to have those days we can just talk business and creative and mull over those problems. Like we catch up, you, Andre,
Yeah.
another good friend of ours, Greg, every month
yeah.
for Founders Day. We've been doing that for
8 years, 9 years.
8-9 years.
Yeah.
And it's some of the conversations and being able to soundboard off each other in the seasons we've all gone through in different stages has been like super valuable for me.
Yeah.
And for all of us, I guess. So I guess the payoff is like you earn it when you invest in blocking out that time in a calendar.
Yeah.
So, and you have to engineer your environment for it. And then the real unlock is then building that out for your team too.
Yeah. Because normally I go from a time like that and then go plan. And then I'm clear on my action plan. And then we just go execute. And wonderful things happen. Yeah. In terms of business. Yeah.
Structured focus for creative time.
Mm.
Absolute unlock. Corné, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me, mate.
Yeah, I think the value of just understanding how another business owner operates and thinks is invaluable.
Yeah.
So thank you, man. I learned so much. I've known you for like almost a decade, and there's things that just keep coming up. So, and for someone who's going through this and working this out for yourself in business right now and just recently, I think is really relevant. Because we're not talking from being there, done that, built a business, not in the business, and you're sharing it. It's just like, I'm still running a business and you're sharing it as you go.
We haven't made it.
No.
I'll never make it.
Yeah.
I think that's my perspective on business. It's always just the journey. It's like trying to enjoy the journey as much as possible and don't get bogged down.
So enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Remember, you're in business to enjoy it and be present.
Yeah.
Family, business, friends.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you, man.
Awesome. Thanks, mate.